What's up, doers? Today we're going to teach you how to build a creeper slash mob farm. This thing is actually convertible from one to the other. It is also tileable and basically works like a charm. Now I'm going to build mine on the ground here just to keep it simple, but if I were you, I would build it up in the sky just like you see those two over there, in order to get the best results. You know, you can make yourself a nice little AFK area, a certain number of blocks above the ground until you don't see mobs spawning on the ground anymore, or you can build yourself a nice little kelp elevator like you see there to get you up there. But this is how we're going to do it, and this is what you're going to need. So you're going to need 18 stacks of builder block, 8 buckets of water, 36 carpets, 64 oak trap doors, 4 brick slabs, or any kind of slab really, 4 hoppers, and 2 chests. Now if you're going to turn this into a creeper farm, this here is just for the mob farm. You're going to turn this into a creeper farm. What you're going to need is 6 stacks of trap doors, and if you want to build a roof over it so that way you can see the, you know, you can have open sides so you can see all the mobs spawning like what you see here. Okay, so if you want to have open sides like this so that way you can see the mob spawning in it and seeing how well it works, what you're going to need is 14 stacks of slabs. Now if you don't want to build the roof and you just want to close the entire thing in, just grab yourself another 2 stacks of cobblestone and let's get into it. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is obviously place down your chests in order to collect what drops, and put down 4 hoppers on top of that, all going into each other. So put down your 4 slabs on top of the hoppers just like that, and then come to the outside, place 1 block down and then another block like that, and make a square around this here falling pit. Now I'm going to actually do my first 2 here in glass just to see them, just so that I can see them falling. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go up 32 blocks into the sky on each side. So that's 1, 2. We're going to do another 30 from here. A good thing to keep in mind is if you don't want this to be an auto farm where the creeps just fall and the mobs just fall and kill themselves, and you want to be able to collect the XP from this, only do this up 21 blocks instead of 32. Okay, so if you want to collect the XP from this, like I said, 21 blocks. If you want this to just be full auto where you come back and the chest is full of items, make it 32 blocks in the air. And you may be asking, well, why 32 blocks in the air? That's because if you make this a mob farm, you're going to get mobs that have armor on their legs, and they're going to fall, and they're not going to end up dying. And then when other mobs fall on top of them, it'll kind of just break the entire farm. So now that we're 32 blocks in the air, or 21 if you want to be able to collect the XP from it, what you're going to do is you're going to come out the sides here, 8 blocks on all sides. So we got 1 there, we got 8 blocks there, and let's do the same for all 4 sides. Okay, and this is what you should have when you're done that. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to come up here and you're going to build a 2-high wall around each of these things here. Make sure you're on the ends. You come to the outside here because you want this to be 8 long. This is going to be for water. Okay, and this is what it should look like when you are done that. Next, what you want to do is on this top half here, fill in all of this area to make yourself 1 giant square. So okay, when you're done, this is what you should have. You should have a nice giant platform like this with 4 little fall areas here in the middle. Now you want to take your trap doors and line this whole inside perimeter here with trap doors just like this. Do the same for the other side. Okay, for anybody that is new to Minecraft, the reason why you put the trapdoors here is that mob entities see this as a solid block, try to walk over top of it, and end up falling into the water, which we're going to put down. Okay, when you're done there, this is what you should have, and you should have a nice little layer or cross of trapdoors, just like you see. Then on this bottom slab here, inside the pit, what you want to do is put in 2 water sources, and you can see the water stop just before the fall pit there. Don't fall down there, because that's obviously far enough for it to kill you. And once you've done that, this is what you should have. Okay, next you're going to take a border and put a 1 high border around this whole thing. Okay, just like you see there, and then take your carpet and put it in this layout here. So put 1 in each corner. Okay, and then come out 2 blocks each way. Come out 2 blocks this way, and basically place a carpet down every 2 by 2 section that you see. So come down 2 blocks, come out 2 blocks, come out another 2 blocks, and this is what each side here should look like. If you let spiders spawn inside this type of mob farm, it will actually break the farm, because the spiders will try to crawl back up the little chute here, and it will stop the mobs from spawning, or stop the mobs from falling down, I should say. So this is why you put the carpet down, in order to stop the spiders from spawning. Okay, and once you're done, you should have a little section that looks like this, and you're ready to put the roof on it. Now, for the roof, what you want to do is you want to come up to, remove that block if you want, and then start putting a roof at that height all around this whole entire thing. You want to do the outsides too as well, because like I said, if you build this up in the sky, spiders will actually spawn on the edge here, make their way into the farm, and then, you know, like I said, end up breaking the farm. Okay, and that is what you should have when you are done. Okay, now mobs only like to spawn on a light level of 7. So you can see we have a client light of 5 here when we're in the middle, so this is good. And if we come out 2 blocks, we're at a 7, which is still okay, but if we come to the outside here, we are at a light level 12. So there's 2 things you can do here. You can either build another layer around this whole thing just to close it all in, which is honestly the easiest way to do it, because you get a quick light level 5. Or you can do what I did on my other farms here, and you can build a roof on top of it. Now the roof has to be all bottom slabs in order to not spawn anything, and has to come out from the edge 5 blocks in order for you to achieve that that desired light level. Basically, you can see that if we come to any of the sides here on this, we are at a client light of 7, and that is because, like I said, I put the roof here overhanging 5 blocks. Now you can see we've already got a mob that has spawned in here, and that is because in the center here we have a light level of 7. So what we're going to do is we're just going to close this whole thing in. And if we press our button here, you can see we have a light level of 0, which is way beyond what we need here. So that is the cheapest way to do it, is just build your wall too high on the outside. And that is it. That is your mob farm done and over with right there now. Okay, now I open this thing back up just for simplicity's sake. But if you want to turn this into a creeper farm, what you want to do is just place trap doors on the entire roof structure here. Okay, and once you do that, what happens is creepers are only basically a block and a half tall. They only need a block and a half in order to spawn. So if you put trap doors there, it eliminates the regular mobs from spawning and will only allow for creepers to spawn in. So let's fill this entire area in here. Okay, and once you have all your trapdoors in place, just like that, you are set and ready to go. Just fill in these outside corners like we talked about with your second layer of block. Come down to the bottom and wait for your creeps to basically fall in. Okay, now if you want to tile this thing, what you're going to need is you're going to need about another 2 or 3 stacks of blocks. And what you want to do is you want to put a border around this whole thing. Come to the middle here where you have the water, and remove 2 blocks there, and do that all the way across. Here in the same cross pattern above the water, grab another stack of trap doors and place them down around the whole edge just like we did in the bottom layer, so that it looks something like this. And then build yourself another roof 2 blocks above it. So come up 2 blocks like that, and then fill in this whole entire area here with blocks to give yourself another roof. Okay, and once you're done, you should have this little area here. So you should have the bottom area with the trapdoors on it, and the top area here with no trapdoors. Then you want to come to the inside and do the same thing we did with the carpet down below. So put your carpet here, and then every 2 blocks place down your carpet in order to stop the spiders from spawning. Fill in the outside blocks so that way you get the correct light level. Or you can do like I did on my farms over there and give yourself a roof. Now this roof has to extend out 5 blocks in order for it to cast enough shadow to get the correct light level below. Okay, and once you're done, it should look something like this. Now you do want to fill in the whole inside here, but I just want to do this for the video's sake. Once you have the roof here overhanging 5 blocks, if we come inside the farm here, you can see that in the corner here we have a light level and a client light of 7. So let's just finish putting the blocks around the middle here in order for you to not have mobs spawn on top. Okay, and once you have your roof done or your walls in place here, like we said, you are essentially done. You can already see we have mobs spawning in there. And if we just back away for a little bit, you'll see we already have creepers spawning inside the bottom layer here. Now they will walk over the edge, fall down and in, get trapped by the water, get pushed by the water down the chute, land at the bottom, die, and their items will be. Now as you can see, this thing here casts a pretty big shadow. What you want to do is, on the ground here, is you want to place some torches all around, just so that way when the daylight comes you don't have any mobs spawning down on the ground level here. Now what you want to do is you want to set up your AFK area, your AFK zone. Now if we switch this to nighttime, what you're going to see is you're going to see mobs start to spawn all over the ground here. So what you want to do is get your Y level for where the chest is. Now I suggest just building it up in the air like that, because then all you have to do is just come over 30 or 40 blocks and you've got yourself a good little AFK section. But if you do build it on the ground like this, what you want to do is you want to take your your Y level, which mine is 70 right now, and go up about 130 blocks from this. So that'll be about that'll be a level Y level 200. And once we start to go up, what you're going to see is you're going to see the mobs start to spawn closer and closer like you do there, but they're eventually going to disappear once we get to Y level or close to Y level 200 here. So as you can see, the higher we get, they start to disappear along the outsides here. And once we get to Y level 200, no more mobs spawning on the ground, and the closest area for the mobs to spawn is going to be in your farm there. So you want to set your AFK area about 125 to 130 blocks above the farm if you do build it on the ground, or you just do what I did over here and build it nice and high in the sky, Or what you can even do is build it over top of a deep ocean. And if you do the deep ocean, then you're already set up and ahead of the game, because the deep ocean is usually about 30 blocks deep. So if you do something like that, this farm will work for you too as well. Okay, now I've been AFK up here for a few minutes now, so let's go down and see what is happening. So if we look in the farm, you can see it is completely full of mobs, and they're all just kind of falling down and trying to cross back and forwards. And if we go down to the chest here, and you can see that we're already starting to collect the loot from when the creeps and the mobs fall down. And yeah, we don't have to do any killing, we don't have to do any slicing. All we have to do is just go AFK somewhere, and this farm will work out perfectly. Now you can stack this thing however you want. You can do a creeper farm, and then mob farm, and then creeper farm, and then mob farm, and then creeper farm. You can stack this as many times as you basically want. Or, and like I said, if you do want to be able to collect the XP from all of those drops, just make this chute here only 21 blocks high. Okay, so that does it for this tutorial, you guys. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next build. Peace.